Hello and welcome back to the channel. Apologies for cutting the last video short. We didn't have the right dimensions and we figured we'd cut it there because it was already 14 minutes long and just redo them again in this video once we've got them right. So what you can do is you're going to jump back onto the template that we'd started last week and it should look something like this. Today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be finishing this off hopefully. All we need to do really to finish the template off at least is to add this bit that comes off the top surface here and this bit that just sticks out from the bottom surface. So what you can do is first of all you're going to draw a circle on the top surface of this object, not the top plane. So if you remember, this top surface sits about 3 mil proud of the top plane because we extruded it, not about, it should be exact. So you're going to leave that circle about there. And that circle is going to be 1.5 away from the inner circle. So you're going to press D or go into your dimension mode, which is this button here at the top. You're going to click on the circle you've just drawn. And click on this inner circle, and you're going to set that to 1.5. Okay, what you can do now is you're going to project this curve here, this arc, so that it becomes part of our active sketch. And you do that just by clicking the project tool, clicking on our arc, and you'll see it now turns into a darker color, a thicker color, and you've got these nodes at the end which we can control, which we're not going to, but we can control. Okay, so what we need to do now is just get our line tool, draw a vertical line between those two arcs. And I'm going to mirror that line because I want it exactly the same on the other side. So grab my mirror tool, click on my vertical, click on the line, and now I can add some dimensions. And that dimension is going to be, jump into dimension mode, 6.5 between the vertical and one of the lines I've just drawn. And it should hopefully snap both of these into position. There we go. Okay, and the last thing I'm going to do is get my trim tool, drag through this arc, drag through these little offcuts, these extensions, and that's essentially the base of what I'm going to be building today. What I'm going to do once I've got that shape is extrude it by 0.4. Now, I know we said in the last video that sounds like quite a rough number or a very specific number. I have got these dimensions off a sketch, off an existing model. If you find out there is better dimensions, please go with those. If you want to go to 0.5, I think that's fine. I don't think that 0.1 difference will make a difference. But I'm going to stick to the spec, to the plans that I got, and that's going to be 0.4. Okay. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to draw some more vertical lines. So first of all, I'm going to project, make a sketch on my new surface there. So on this new raised surface, I'm going to look at my top view. I'm going to press sketch and I'm going to press project. And once more, I'm going to project this sketch because I want these arcs only on the end, but I do want some of these arcs exactly how they are on the extrude that I've just made. What I'm going to do now is put a vertical line in there. So I've got this sort of rhombus shape at the end, this diamond, and the same. In fact, I don't even need to do the same there. I'll just mirror it. So all I want to do is put a 1.5 mil dimension there, 1.5 between these lines, and it should snap along this track, along these radiuses, these arcs. And then I'm just going to like I did before, I'm going to mirror that line and then just trim the two arcs in between. So all I'm left with is these two diamonds, one on either side. If you get lost at any point, because I'm aware I've just rushed through that quite quick, zoom the video back, slow it down, rewatch it, and then you'll be ready to follow. And all I'm going to do now, I'm going to extrude this sketch, so it should be this closed shape and this closed shape. I'm going to extrude that by 1.6 mil. So you've got something like that. And you'll notice that these have got very sharp edges. And all we're going to do is we're going to add 4 fillets to them. 2 of them are going to be the same. The other 2 are going to be different. So to the 2 ends of the point, so this end and this end, and you want to do this on the corner, on the vertical edge, that's going to be a 0.2 fillet. So grab your fillet tool, click on this edge here, and this edge here, and it's probably going to go red because I've got mine set to 1.5. If you change that to 0.2, you'll find that works really nicely. And if we go over here, just do the same to this node and click the tick. Lovely. Now what we're going to do is we're going to set these inside fillets here, the ones sitting on the inside rim, to 0.5. So grab my fillet tool. In fact, I'll set it to 0.5 so I can see the preview, and it comes out a little bit larger, a little bit broader. There we go. And on the remaining vertice, I'm going to fillet that to 1.5. So you get a really, really broad curve now. Okay, that's that bit done, and all we've got to do now is this little tab, and this, I'll be honest, is probably the most important bit of the whole thing. This is the tab that actually screws this top attack ring into the base of the toy. So this is actually the one component which is vital of everything we're doing here. So all you're going to do is now start a sketch on the bottom face, making sure you're sketching it on the side that we've done our work on. We've done this over here. In fact, you might not even have this over here because I don't think we've mirrored it in the one that we did. But what we're going to do is make sure we're working on this side, our active side. So I'm just going to turn it around, press N. All I'm going to do is make a sketch on this bottom plane, this bottom face, which is actually the underside of the top plane. Going to select this arc, draw to the center, draw another arc. Whoop. If you do get that funny arc, just hover over that node that we've just drawn again, and you should see it comes out straight this time. And you're going to go up the vertical. Now, if I go into my dimension mode, I can click on my angled line and the vertical, and it'll allow me to set an angle. I'm going to turn that to 18. So it'll just swing it in a bit, and then I'm going to mirror it. So click mirror, click my mirror line, click what I want to mirror, and that's what I want. Just get rid of the center line now. Okay, what I need to do now is again project this arc. So this arc here, because I want that to be active in the shape I'm going to draw. I'm going to draw a second circle out. So again, I've got that track. I've got these concentric arcs, these concentric circles, which enable me to draw my shape. And that's going to have a radius of, or a diameter of 19.5. So if I set the dimension of that circle to 19.5, so I've got, this is the shape I want. This almost like not a chevron. This arch. I'm going to trim away everything else. So just trim through these offcuts, these lines, and that's what I'm going to want. And I'm going to put a radius of 0.2 on there. So fillet just on these two edges, not on the inside. I want those to be flush. 0.2. I'm going to extrude that by 1.5. Making sure it's going the right way. Making sure you're on add instead of new here in this box. And that is it. Now, there's one more step, a few more steps. We can add a couple of fillets. So I think if we get the fillet tool and we go down to 0.2, we can probably fillet that section there. This section here that joins the base of this part to the top surface of the toy. We can probably fillet the top edges of these, the bottom edges of these. It's really up to you. There's no right or wrong to this. And I think I can probably fillet this as well. Be careful not to fillet the actual underside of the toy itself. So this surface, you want these edges to be as sharp as possible because we might be adding things to those a little bit later. All our features we can add fillets to just to round them off a little bit. And at the end of the day, you will notice it is only a 0.2mm fillet. So if you ever do get to 3D print these, you're not actually going to notice it most likely. Okay, and once you've done that, you're going to click the tick. Now we've got our last job. We've got everything in place. I'm going to look at my top view, and I'm going to do a rectangular sketch on my top plane. I'm going to start over here, and I'm going to highlight all the half of the toy I've not worked on. Okay. Now I know I've done a little bit here. I don't think we did in the last video. All I'm going to do is making sure that sketch is sitting on that top plane. I'm going to click Extrude, Remove, drag that up, click the tick, and if you've done that exactly through the center of the origin, you will notice that we've got rid of exactly half of our shape, the half we've not worked on. And you probably guess what we're going to do now. We're just going to click Mirror. I'm going to click the part I'm going to mirror, which is everything I've worked on. Mirror plane is going to be the front plane, or whatever plane is sitting on that section view. And it's just going to repeat. Make sure you're on add as well. It's just going to repeat everything we've done over here, over here. And that, folks, that is our template. Next week, we're going to be, or in the next session, we're going to be looking at the different types of shapes we can add, the different types of designs, how we can use a circular pattern tool, and the different types of things we need to consider for those. But thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, like, subscribe, drop a comment, and we hope to see you in the next video. Thank you very much.